preparing live stream. The host.
Hello. YouTube. Welcome. Sarah here from Divinely Thank you so much for tuning in. Might have some audio overlap. So I'm waiting for that to make sure. I'm also still having okay. Looks like I do not have some audio overlap. May still have some internet issues. Again, I could apologize for that for the next several months. So not going to. So welcome to this week. I feel like the big question is, do you feel like you're going crazy yet? Do you feel you're losing your mind? And this energy is really tough. And it's not like it's I feel like this is where I want to talk about like disrupting the calendar, because so I am a person who I've worked full-time a couple of times in life and I don't do well working full-time. I don't do well mentally working full-time because I do like a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 routine. Like my energy doesn't flow that way. And so I feel like it's really interesting that we're stepping into this energy. And school just started for most of the people in the kids in the United States, and or elsewhere. I don't know where you are in the world, and I don't know how school systems work in most parts of the world besides the United States, but we just, most of the US started school recently. So it's like these school activities are starting and all of the Monday through Friday stuff is happening, and it's football season and it's this and it's that. And then we're going to have the holidays and we're going to have all of the things. And for me, that's to me, that goes against the flow of where the astrology is right now. We have currently 5 planets, going to be 6 planets in retrograde. So the only planet that's got forward momentum is Venus, right? Mars is slowing down because it's going to go retrograde in a couple months. Mercury is going to go retrograde the end of this week. And all of the other planets are in retrograde. Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune. I'm forgetting something probably. Maybe not. I don't know. My point is that when you have this many planets going in retrograde and you're trying to go full on energy, full steam ahead, you're going against the flow of what astrology, of what our present flow of energy is requesting of us, right? And so for me, that's why this calendar system doesn't work, because first of all, who the hell puts the most joyous time of the year in the middle of winter? And I live in the Midwest. So I don't think that's joyful at all to have the most joyful time of the year, meaning the holidays, be when it's cold, it's icy, it's snowy. Anyway, I digress. So so yes, there's the calendar system, and today's like a national day in the United States, and I'm not taking a holiday. Like I go with all of my energy. So if the work is there to be done, then I'm going to do the work. So when we are forcing to go against the flow of the energy, okay, it's going to kind of feel like you're forcing, feel like you're putting forth more effort, okay? And if there's anything I've learned over the past couple of years being a nomad who doesn't drive, who's legally blind, if it feels like I have to effort at it, it's probably not the right thing. Now, there's a difference between efforting and going after what you want, right? And putting forth the energy to go for what you, right? When you are going towards the thing that you want, it may feel like you're efforting, but you're not efforting so much as they're aligning for you. But if you're like, every turn you make, you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, you're efforting, you're trying too hard to make something happen. Or maybe something is opening up for you and you're like, no, I don't want that. Okay. I did not want to move back to the Midwest. It was not what I wanted to do at all. I knew what it was like to live here. I grew up here and I did not want this. However, it also was aligned and I literally felt it. And my body, I just knew this is where I'm supposed to go right now. I really wanted to go back to California. I wanted to be near the coast. I really wanted to be near the ocean. You'll see me posting a lot of pictures of ocean because I am dreaming of the ocean, especially as it's now September heading into winter months in the Midwest. But when there's like this, how do I want to explain this? Because we have such uncertain, disruptive energy occurring in the cosmos, as above, so below. All right. So as above, we have things happening with the planets we've not experienced in our lifetimes. Below, we have things happening on our planet that we've never experienced in our lifetimes, right? You may be asked by the divine, by your guides, by your body, by your system to do something you never freaking expected to do. In a million years, you didn't think that was going to happen. And it may be that you got to do that thing because that's going to lead to the next big thing, right? Because that's the path. The path is never straight, right? It aligns, but there's a difference between alignment and the path going straight, because the alignment is your hands. I've got my hands pressed together in prayer form for those who can't see me. So if the hands are like this, in other words, your fingers are against your palm, that's not an alignment, right? So you may be trying to take a straight line, but you're not in alignment. But if you put your hands together, palms and fingers together, and the line may go zigzaggy or upside down or whatever. Obviously, I can't do that with my hands, but you're still in alignment with the path that is meant for you. There may be something you need to learn, or maybe something that needs to be healed, or something about that area that you need to go to, whether it's geographic or otherwise. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, whatever it is. But if you're like this and your fingers are against your palm and you're out of alignment, and if the path goes straight ahead, it's going to feel like shit because it's not in alignment. So even though I didn't want to move back to the Midwest, it still felt like I was in alignment. I was palm to palm, fingers to fingers. I was in alignment, right? And how interesting that I was guided to do this, which is prayer, right? Turning to God, going within, trusting your guides, surrendering to your path, surrendering to the plan, because we don't know what it is. And the more you resist it, the more you try to fight it, the harder it's going to be. And the more you get stuck in those old energies. We had so much potent release and let go, late July into mid-August with the Uranus Mars conjunction with the North Node, and then leading up to that Aquarius full moon we had during Leo season. That was such potent release and let go energy that, it was like that was your moment to let that old shit go. And now you're kind of in this space of like, okay, now what? And for those of you who don't know what the now what is, or you don't know what's next, take inspired action, take things that make you feel good, right? Do things that make you feel good. If you have, wounds that are trying to be healed, do things to actively heal those wounds, right? I have a pretty deep abandonment wound. So when I don't hear from people for a couple of days, I freak out. And this weekend I didn't hear from people because everybody was off doing things, which was completely fine, right? But I heard a voice in my head, I'll call it my guides, but I heard a voice say, they're off doing things, so you go do things, go prepare. So I dove into some astrology stuff. I dove into really studying and really taking a look at charts and taking a look at some things ahead and where and what things are headed to. I looked at the astrology for the weekend that I'm going to a retreat next month. Got kind of pumped about it too, because I was like, ooh, that could, the perfection, right? The alignment, right? So, we're in this let go of everything that you possibly can let go of, right? And go with the flow. I do a lot of tasks that most people would do like during the day. I do them at night because that's when I flow. That's when my energy is flowing. If I'm up in the middle of the night, I'm doing house chores, I'm doing, whatever, astrology stuff, studying stuff, whatever it is, crocheting, reading a book, whatever floats my boat, right? And so we're moving into this, Mercury is going to go retrograde on Friday. And Mercury is the planet that is about mind and mental and things like that. Okay. And so Mercury going retrograde with everything else going retrograde, having a handle on your mental stability is going to be very important. That's why I say, do you feel like you're going crazy? Because it's actually only going to get worse. And so having a good grasp on your mental state is going to be important. And I say that coming from somebody who used to have major bouts of depression, major bouts of just feeling like shit, hating myself, all of the things, and thinking that everybody in the world hated my guts and everything that you can imagine, I could think of, I thought of whenever, and it took me to studying astrology to understand that, oh, I'm feeling that way because of this, that, and the other thing, right? Usually it was a water moon. Sometimes it was Mercury retrograde. And depending on where the Mercury retrograde was, how it affected my mental state. And so, but with all this Mercury retrograde, also hours after that is the full moon in Pisces, which is a water sign. And it's the water sign of spirituality, dreaminess, all of that. Like this energy is about to crank up, especially for our mental state. And, back to that calendar system, like if you're trying to force a schedule, you're trying to force a time frame or a timeline, right? And yes, we do have to follow them because we're still a part of that world. However, if you're like, oh, I have to, be doing this thing at 1:00 in the afternoon, and then 1:00 in the afternoon gets here and you have like something, you feel something and you're like, oh, I don't even feel like doing that right now, then don't do it. Wait until you feel like doing it, right? So there's a lot of different aspects to all of this that's going on. And what I'm really noticing just from, conversations with others and things like that is a lot of resistance, a lot of people who don't want to go where they're guided geographically or otherwise. A lot of people who are like pissed because things are going this way or that way. And the thing is that we get to experience those emotions and then we get to turn them around. I've had a lot of anger over the last week and a half. And I got it out of my system. I cried a lot. I yelled a lot. I, did all of the things to release the anger because that's important. We're humans. We're going to have emotions. However, now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm like, okay, anger is subsided for the moment, and I still get to do the things that I want to do, right? And so, and of course, we have like a full moon, which is going to illuminate things. And think about it. It's a full moon in a dreamy, watery sign with a lot of planets in retrograde, including Mercury, which is the planet of, like I said, it's the mind. And so, and thinking and short-term thinking. And so with all of that, I really feel like know when you need to ask for support, know when you need to look for someone and be like, okay. And maybe it's somebody that you don't know who they are, right? I have people who reach out to me on social media, and it's okay. Like I'm willing to be there to support people, right? And but know when you need to ask for help from people in your community, right? And know those things, know that those things are available to you. Also surround yourself with people who have your greatest good at heart. we have a tendency to be like, oh, I've known them for so long, or they're my family, or they're this or they're that. But if they're not in it for your highest good, those aren't your people. You can still chill with them, you can still whatever, but if you're looking at them for guidance, you're gonna get lost. So I'm dropping a lot of truths. I'm dropping a lot of like advicey type stuff today. But I really feel like we're at a moment where if we're at a moment of like, this is it. This is it. This is a tough space to be in, and heading into what could potentially be a really tough fall, you know, and a really tough winter and for the Northern Hemisphere. And it doesn't have to be tough. It doesn't have to be difficult. It can totally be, beautiful and brilliant, right? I could look at my life and be like, damn, I really thought those people were going to be there for me. And they're not. However, I still have so many powerfully good things going on that like, it's fine. So anyway, so we have Mars slowing down, all the other planets retro except for Mercury, which goes retrograde on Friday. Hours later is the peak of the full moon. So you're probably going to feel that. If you're not feeling it already, you're going to feel it coming into the middle of the week or whatever. I tend to feel these things way ahead of time, so I'm already there. And so, so the things that I have noticed around me and just the people that I follow or the people that I chat with or whatever, digestive issues, because we're in Virgo season. Also, there's just a lot of self-worth and relationship and self-love type energy going on. So the digestive system dysfunction is going to be pretty active. So really check in with that solar plexus chakra, work with the yellow, whatever that is, whether it's your clothing, yellow crystals, you know, lemon oil. I want to say lemon oil, but like any kind of citrusy oils, and yellow foods, things like that. To work with color in yellow, do artwork in yellow, things like that. Obviously, orange is the sacral, and so the lower three can kind of be connected to a point. So digestive system issues. I'm also seeing and hearing a lot of ankle issues. You know, ankles and wrists are ruled by, that's not what I want to say. Okay, ruled Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by or Uranus rules Aquarius. Uranus is in retrograde in an earth sign. So lots of things going on with joints and things like that. And so really like, you know, and I'm seeing like a lot of like injuries and things like that. And it's an invitation to slow down, right? Like I said, we're all back in, you know, fall type things and all the activities. And then our bodies are like, oh, hell no, time to slow down, time to take it easy, time to really check in with yourself, right? We're constantly in a go, go, go state, and we're really being asked and invited to slow down. Okay. So those kinds of things are occurring and happening, and I'm noticing them. So yeah, it feels like a lot of energy. It feels very heavy to me today, which could be just a lot of different things. Like I said, I tend to feel things way ahead of time. So what I may be feeling today is what everyone else might be feeling like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so maybe check back in with this video later this week to kind of, you know, see what I said on Monday that I was feeling, and are you feeling something similar in that time and space? And so there we have it. I did set aside the Ancient Feminine Wisdom deck. So let's take a look. I'm such an overthinker that I was watching one of my astrology schools with the Leo King, and it was a class about tarot, and I'm thinking he's going to tell me how to read tarot, and he says in the video, no, actually it's more about trusting your psychic or your intuition. And I'm like, Where have I heard that before? Right? Because I'm such an overthinker. And so I've been told by so many astrologers and spiritual guidance folks that I've worked with, you know, that I overthink. And so, but yeah, so lots going on. It's going to be okay. You really have to trust and surrender to the process and the path that's being revealed to you. There's kind of no map right now, right? Like we all want a map. We all want to know, and we all want to plan what's next. We all want to have a solid idea of what's next. And unfortunately, we are in a time and space right now where having a plan ain't gonna work, because this world's being turned on a dime every time we turn around. And going with the flow and being really in tune with yourself and having that great connection divine is really going to be important and valuable as we move through all of this. And so take some deep breaths, take that time to do breath work, connect with yourself, get to know yourself, get to know who you are and what you're up to in the world. And from the ancient feminine wisdom, we got Nike, which is the victory card. Yeah, because the victory is learning yourself, knowing yourself, tapping in with yourself, trusting. The victory is here. It's here to be had. It's here to, you know, be of guidance, be of support, right? And so, but really trusting our, I have quick decks of cards everywhere. So I'm like, where am I going to put this so I can pick another card? Okay. I'm actually working on redoing a different space to do these videos in the house, but I am not there yet. So still I'm actually in a corner of my room. That's where I do these videos, in a chair in a corner of my room. Works for me. But I have another space in mind that I am working on putting together and getting it set up a little more the way I want it. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. Changes. And then we got always upside down, and oracles do not do reversals. We got Medea, which is magic. Ooh. Trusting in your own magic. Believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, trusting in the divine to guide you, trusting in your spirit guides, talking to your higher self, having those conversations internally, journaling, meditating, all of the things. Like, slow the hell down, get in tune with yourself, get in touch with yourself. If you're like, I don't know why the hell I'm even here. You're here for a divine purpose. You're here in this time and in this space for a divine purpose. We all are. And so really getting in tune. I just posted on my Instagram, Saradivinelyyou on Instagram. I just posted yesterday the astrology, you know, and I chose Divinely You as my, you know, business name before I really got into astrology. Like I was just kind of like, you know, hobby watching astrology, like, oh, this is fun. I hadn't really thought that I was going to actually dive in and be an astrologer. That wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but it happens. But I just followed the guidance and here I am. But I had chosen Divinely You because my life purpose from my coaching program was divinity and sharing divinity and sharing divine guidance and sharing you know, everyone divine uniqueness. And so I had chosen Divinely You before I even really dove into astrology. And as I dove into astrology and really started to learn myself and learn about others and learn about the world and learn the cycles and all of the things, this is going to be a multi-part post on my Instagram. So if you're interested in reading all of the things that I'm just blurting out to you right now, follow my Instagram for all of that. As I studied astrology and as I really kind of got into it, I really was like, damn, we're all divinely unique. We all have a divinely unique chart. We all have a divinely unique planet placements, asteroid placements, all of these things. We're all here for a divine, unique purpose. It like deepened the meaning of what I said in Divinely You, that we are each here in this time and in this space for a divine purpose. We have a divine mission. We're all brought here for a reason. So the victory is yours. It's within you. The magic is within you. You get to create it. You get to call the shots. I have said it so many times in the past couple of years. What is going on out there is going to go on out there. That shit is crazy. I don't even understand it. I understand that it's overproduced and overacted and it looks fake to me, but that's me. Because I look within myself and I'm like, oh, I'm here for something way bigger than whatever that is out there. So take that with you this week. You are here in this time and in this space for a divine purpose. And as this energy continues to build up, trust in yourself, trust in the divine, trust in your guides, in your higher self, that they're here for you, that I'm here for you, that other astrologers and spiritual guides are here for you. I'm sending you so much love, a virtual hug from me to you. Please feel free to reach out if you are, whoever it is. You don't have to, it's not just me I'm suggesting this about, but if you are feeling the least bit like unsteady or unstable right now, please reach out and get support where you need it. I love you, sending you